Geography, Chapter number 3, Part 2, Physiography and Drainage. Dear student, in previous part, we have already learned the physiography, means the geographical subparts of India and Brazil. As well as we also learn its specialities and features of geographical Brazil and India. Here is Physiography and Drainage Part 2, India and Brazil Drainage. In this video, we will learn the drainage pattern, means rivers of India as well as Brazil and its specialities and features. See here, you can see the map of drainage pattern of Brazil. First, we are going to learn the drainage pattern of Brazil. The drainage of Brazil is divided into 4 parts. First is Amazon Basin. Second one is Paraguay-Paraná system in the southwest. Then São Francisco in the eastern part of the highland of Brazil. And the last part is other rivers at the coastal line of Brazil. Here you can see the map of drainage pattern of Brazil. Even in your textbook, there is also a map of drainage pattern of Brazil. Observe this map carefully and study it. The first part of the drainage pattern of Brazil is Amazon Basin. Amazon collects its headwaters from the eastern slope of Andes Mountains in Peru. Amazon River receives huge discharge. This is about 2 lakhs meter cubic per second. As a result, Amazon washes off the load supplies to it from the catchment. Consequently, sediments are not deposited even at the mouth. A dense network of distributaries, which is a characteristic feature of river mouth areas, is by and large absent in the mouth region of Amazon. Instead, we find a series of islands developed along the mouth of Amazon beyond the coastline into the Atlantic Ocean. It will be interesting to note that the width of Amazon Channel is 150 kilometers. Most of the course of the Amazon River is suitable for navigation. So these are the specialities of Amazon Basin. The next part is Paraguay-Paraná system. These 2 rivers are located in the southwest part of Brazil. Both the rivers forms the catchment of river Plata in Argentina. These 2 rivers as well as river Uruguay in extreme south of the highlands collect their headwaters from the southern portion of the highlands. Here you can see some photographs of Paraguay-Paraná system. The next part of the drainage pattern of Brazil is São Francisco River. It is the third important river of Brazil. The entire basin of this river is within Brazil. It occupies the eastern portion of the highlands. The river flows towards the north for a distance of about 1000 kilometers over the plateau and then takes a sharp eastward turn to enter the coastal strip along the Atlantic Ocean. The river is navigable for a distance of about 250 kilometers in its downstream reaches. So these are the special characteristics of the river São Francisco in Brazil. Now the last part of Brazil's drainage pattern are coastal rivers. Brazil has a number of short coastal rivers. The coastal area being densely populated, these rivers attains significance. River Pariniba and River Itapecuru flowing northwards meet the North Atlantic Ocean. The rivers that enter South Atlantic Ocean collect their headwaters along the escarpment of Brazil. The next is River Puragaku. Puragaku enters the Atlantic Ocean near Salvador town. So these are the specialities and names of coastal rivers of Brazil. So we learn the drainage of Brazil through Amazon Basin, Paraguay-Paraná system in the southwest, São Francisco in the eastern part of highland, and other rivers at the coasts. Now we are moving towards the drainage pattern of India. See, here we can see the map of India which shows Indian rivers. Even your textbook, there is a map of drainage pattern in India. Observe and study it carefully. See, when we look at the drainage pattern of India, there are two parts of drainage of India. First is Himalayan drainage and second one is peninsular rivers. In Himalayan drainage, there are also two parts. First is Sindhu river system and second one is Ganga river system. When we see the peninsular rivers, we can see two parts, east flowing rivers as well as west flowing rivers. See here, Himalayan drainage. Most of the major rivers in the Himalayas originated from various glaciers. In summers, when glaciers melt, the discharge of water increases in summer. They flood during monsoons too. They are perennial river. The drainage covers two major river systems such as Sindhu river system and Ganga river system. Here you can see some pictures of Himalayan rivers. When we see the Himalayan river, we can see first Sindhu and its tributaries. Sindhu and its tributaries means Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi and Satluj drain the western Himalayas. That is, they are flowing through the states of Jammu Kashmir. They flow almost parallel to each other. A major tributary of river Sindhu, the Satluj, originates near Mansarovar and flows westwards. Punjab plains have formed from the depositional work of this river and its tributaries. Sindhu flows through Pakistan and then meets the Arabian Sea. Here we can see some pictures of Sindhu and its tributaries in Kashmir. The next cluster of Himalayan river is Ganga and its tributaries. The river Ganga originates from the Gangotri glacier and crosses the Himalayas to become an east-flowing river. Many tributaries of the Ganga also flow in the similar manner. Yamuna, originating at Yamunotri is a major tributary of Ganga. Besides these Himalayan rivers, Ganga receives a number of tributaries from peninsula like Chambal, Ken, Betwa, Son and Damodar, etc. In the first photograph, you can see the Gangotri Glacier in Himalaya. Now see, another major tributary of the Ganga flows through the northern part of the Greater Himalayas, crosses the Himalayas to enter India. When it flows through the Himalayas, it is called Sangpo. When it crosses the Himalayas, it is called Dihang, and the eastward flow thereafter is called as Brahmaputra. From time to time, Ganga meets its tributaries, hence its discharge increases. Ganga receives Brahmaputra as its tributary in its lower reaches in Bangladesh. The huge volume of water and huge deposition has led the formation of a large delta, which is called Sundarban. The next group of Indian river is peninsular rivers. The peninsular river system can further be divided into east flowing, which meets to the Bay of Bengal, as well as west flowing, which meets the Arabian Sea. The Western Ghat, which is situated at the western part of India or the Indian peninsula, is a major water divide in the peninsula. The peninsular rivers, being rain-fed rivers, seldom face the problem of floods. They are seasonal in nature. Further northwards, one comes across the river system flowing in the Gulf of Khambat. These river systems are Tapi, Narmada, Mahi and Sabarmati. See to it, Tapi and Narmada flow slowly through rift valleys. Mahi river flows from northeast to southwest direction, whereas river Sabarmati, collecting its headwaters from the southern slope of Arauli ranges, flow in somewhat north-south direction. Another noteworthy river forming the catchment of Arabian Sea is river Luni. It originates along the western slope of Arauli ranges and flows in somewhat northwest to southeast direction and flows into Gulf of Kutch. Now the next part of these rivers are rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. Most of the area of the peninsula is drained by the rivers flowing towards Bay of Bengal. The important river system of this group are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Mahanadi basin occupies the northeastern part of the peninsula, whereas Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri originated in the eastern slope of the Western Ghats. Now see, when we see the rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal, river Godavari is the second largest river system of India in terms of the catchment area. To the south of river Godavari is located the basin of river Krishna. Bhima and Tungabhadra are the major tributaries of river Krishna. River Kaveri Basin flows through the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is one of the major rivers of peninsula. It is a river that has been harnessed for irrigation since a long time. So in this part, we have learned about the drainage pattern of India and Brazil. See, once again, when we see the Indian drainage pattern, we can see its two parts, Himalayan drainage and peninsular drainage. All of you read this chapter carefully, observe and study all the maps which is given in the chapter. Thank you.